Greetings to the oppressed masses from the peace-loving peoples of China. Your boys are dying on the Alaska front and offer nothing. Bring them home before it's too late. Do you think your readers will keep you safe if the bombs fall? You will die while the Wall Street gang and their hangers-on live like kings and... Greetings to the oppressed masses from the peace-loving peoples of China. Your boys are dying on the Alaska front and offer nothing. Bring them home before it's too late. The gang of Wall Street fat cats and their Washington warmonger puppets have plunged the world into war to line their own...
Ah! Hey, be more careful.
Just listen to this.
Hey there.
According to reports from the ever so
A few-
hoity-toity Tenpenny Tower, a group of displaced ghouls have been trying to gain entrance.
Another
Luscious
satisfied
large
customer.
Alistair Tenpenny
Bye.
says, no zombies, no how. Come on, Al, cut the ghoulies a break. If they've got the caps and you've got the space, it's a win-win, right? What do you think?
Aha! Oh!
There you are.
I want this company! Oh! Ah! 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 Oh! Ah! Ah! Oh! Oh!
You there. Put your weapons away. Come over here. No funny business, unless you want to get shot. What are you doing here? It's not safe for your kind around here. Oh yeah? Is he expecting you? Well then, run along. It's not wise to keep Roy waiting. Has a bit of a temper, that one. You watch yourself. I've been stomping around with Roy and his gang of misfits. Roy's a no-nonsense, take-no-prisoners kind of guy. He heard about this tenpenny asshole, and now he's trying to get us in that tower. He's hatching some kind of plan to kill all those bigot bastards. Believe it or not, I used to vacation there. I wasn't always like this. I was a goddamn scientist. We were doing great things. Amazing things. Sure, sacrifices were required. Some people got hurt, but we were making real progress. But then those goddamn bombs dropped. Karma's a real bitch. You'd be wise to remember that. Figures. He's Tenpenny's adorable lapdog, isn't he? So what's your angle in all this? Open your eyes, kid. Does it look like... Hello. What is it? Live it. Hello. What is it? Good to see you. Good to see you. What do you want? Biding our time, making plans, getting ready. Tenpenny and his pack of elitist wannabes can't keep us out of that tower forever. We've got rights, and we'll take them if they aren't given to us. Ghouls aren't built for luxury and comfort, is that it? You think ghouls belong scurrying around in that dark, dank underbelly of the wasteland? You got a lot of nerve. Not sure where you come from, kid, but out here in the wasteland, everything's up for grabs. And you only get to keep what you can hold on to. Tenpenny didn't build that tower. He found it, and took it from whoever used to own it. Now we're gonna take it from him. We tried playing nice, but they shot at us. Fuck them. It's time for them and their bigot ways to die. If I'm no better than Tenpenny, then he should let me into that tower. But he won't, so I'm busting in. That's the smartest thing you've said since you met me. Watch it, will ya?
Oh, hello. I'm Bessie Lynn. I don't think you should be down here. Did you talk to Roy? I hope you know what you're doing. You could get in a... I wouldn't want to see anyone get hurt. You must be pretty tough to get past all the ferals. They tend to leave us alone. But someone like you... Am I babbling again? Roy is coming up with a plan to get us into that tower. 10 pennies. Says it's only a matter of time. He's strong like that. He never gives up. The kind of guy who makes things happen, Roy is. That's why the others follow him. Me, I just like the way he looks at me. Makes me feel pretty again. I'd go anywhere with him. Oh, well, it's not so bad, I guess. Once you get used to it. But it's not like before. I used to be pretty, you know. Everyone used to come around all the time. People stop wanting to be around you, though. When it starts to happen. When you start to change, I mean. Please don't hurt. Oh. Well, most people would prefer if we ghouls didn't exist. If you... Oh.
Hey. What do you want? So you killed a bunch of feral ghouls. Is that supposed to sound impressive? I got no compassion left for those mindless freaks. But they were a nice deterrent keeping out smoke. Is that so? He isn't man enough to do it himself? Sends a boy to do his dirty work. You think you got what it takes? You picked the wrong ghoul to fuck with, kid. Yeah, bring it over here. Where? You like that? Angry ghoul fellows.
Give me a second. Keep your panties on. Hello?
Hello. Didn't think you had it in you. Guess you proved me wrong. Good job. Knowing those ghouls are gone takes a load off my mind. Thanks. You'll be wanting the reward now, won't you? I suppose you've earned it. There's your caps. Contract fulfilled, debt paid. I still got my eye on you.
Here to see the good doctor? Excellent. Tell me what you need, and maybe I've got your fix. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yes?
citizens of this town have nothing to fear. The Mechanist is here to protect them.
We'll see about that. Attack my ant soldiers. Destroy this fool and his tin toys.
Go forth, my steadfast creation. Show these brothers humanity's true power.
Threat analysis.
Humans may be weak sometimes, but our creations are strong and pure. Something you'll never be.
Fool! Humanity's creations were the seeds of their undoing.
Are you all right? You aren't hurt, are you? I'd like to apologize for the rude welcome. Those two have been a bit of a problem lately. Name's Rowe. Uncle Rowe to most. Welcome to Canterbury Commons. For what that's worth. The, Mechanist and the Ant Agonizer. That's just what they call themselves. It's ridiculous, I know. A while ago, we were attacked by the Ant Agonizer, that woman with the ants, obviously. The Mechanist saved the town with his robots. Well, that was all well and good, but I swear their fights are getting bigger, and it's been driving off the merchants. They simply won't leave. Oh, that's terrific. I knew you'd help out. Knew it in my gut, and it's never steered me wrong on a deal yet. Find where the Ant Agonizer and the Mechanist hide and convince them to stop or otherwise end their hostility, and you'll earn 200 caps. You only need to stop one of them, really. Nowadays, I think they only stay in Canterbury to fight each other. You drive a hard bargain, friend. But seeing how we haven't been able to solve the problem ourselves, fine. You've got a deal. But I expect results. Oh, and please do try to use some discretion. We already have plenty of would-be heroes starting wars in our streets. We don't need another. If it'll help, I'm glad to. Now, one day there was a crazy woman leading a bunch of ants into town. She said humanity was dead and the ants would inherit the earth, stuff like that. Well, that gave Dom plenty of time to line up a shot or two on the ants. She ran away, but every once in a while she'd stage an attack again. She wasn't much of a threat then. In fact, she was sort of entertaining at first. Gave everyone in town something to talk about. But when the Mechanists started fighting her, things got bad. Ants are easy to shoot, but add robots with lasers, it got real nasty. The Mechanist used to be our town mechanic, Scott Walensky. Quiet guy, but plenty fierce with a wrench and some solder. Guy used to take care of a robot that protected the town until it got torn up in one of the Ant Agonizer's lame little attacks. I guess he took it personal because he made a mechanical suit and called himself the Mechanist, said he would lead a robot army to fight her. Now he doesn't even respond to his name, and his robot army is more dangerous to the town than the ants ever were. My nephew Derek might know more about them. I swear it's all I can do to keep him from running into the fight whenever they come out. He might know more about where you can find them, but don't encourage the poor boy. He's had enough close calls. I most heartily agree. Glad to... You'll want to talk with Joe Porter over in Dot's Diner. I don't know who Dot was, but I'm sure Porter's food does her memory proud. When they're in town, you can find the caravan trader out front of the town. They say it's a good way to catch a visitor's eye. Enjoy. Ha! Damn near everything, I suspect. I founded the place myself, and I'm the reason this place stays fat and happy. Because I asked them to, I suspect. I grew up in these trade caravans, known most of them my whole life. I founded this place with my sister Daisy back in the day. Perfect stop along the caravan circuit. They're just small caravans that make rounds through the wastes, hawking their wares from Paradise Falls to Rivet City. They won't trade with anyone who's hit their friends, but that's about as organized as they get. I had thought about it, but some of these wasteland traders, well, they aren't exactly the organizational type. It'd take a pretty savvy businessman to make it worth their while to work together. Frankly, I'm not sure even I'm up to the task. that certainly is quite a lot of caps. It really would be a shame for those to go to waste, wouldn't it? I suppose I can call in a few favors with the caravans, talk with them about their inventory. Must keep the customers happy, right? So you just let me know what you'd like to see from the caravans, and I'll let them know what to focus on. Then you'd be looking for Lucky Harith, adventurer, martial artist, and occasional collector of the most deadly items known to mankind. He's a bit of an eccentric, but he deals in more weaponry than you can shake a sharp stick at. In fact, he's probably got a sharp stick, too. Harith's got quite a lot of weapons, but I'm sure he could improve his stock. An investment of 200 caps should see to that nicely. Excellent! Harith will be delighted. He usually is by most things, really. If Harith were a less reputable man, I'm sure he could use his armory to collect even more weapons. But he's a merchant, not a raider, so it's legitimate means only. Like a legitimate investment of 500 caps. An investment in weaponry is usually returned in short order, after all. I'll inform Harith. That simply isn't feasible, I'm afraid. Harith's gear already rivals some mercenary armies. Anything further would be asking for trouble. Sure thing. Interested? Our man Crow handles most armor and clothing out on the trail. He grew up a tribal, but he traded in his loincloth for much snappier apparel long ago. It takes a fair amount of capital to expand into higher quality material, you know. Improving Crow's wardrobe would require a one-time investment of, say, 200 caps. Excellent. I'll send word to Crow right away. Crow's armor is already rather extensive, but I'm sure it could be even more impressive for a one-time investment of 500 caps. Isn't it, though? I'll send this right along to Crow. At this point, the merchandise of our man Crow is the best in the wasteland. I fear it's beyond improvement with further investments. All right. Then you'll be wanting Doc Hoff, or the Good Doctor, as he prefers. He prescribes everything from a good meal to stim packs to things that'll make your brain get up and dance. The Good Doctor's lab equipment isn't cheap. It'll cost about 200 caps for him to offer higher quality material. Excellent. I'll send word to the Good Doctor right away. At this point, it would be hard to improve Doc's medicine cabinet without a significant investment. Say 500 caps should suffice for him to offer a whole cornucopia of pharmacopoeia. Isn't it, though? I'll send this right along to him. As much as it hurts me to say it, there's really only so much that money can buy. The Good Doctor's supply cannot be improved at this point. Sure thing. That'd be Crazy Wolfgang. He does repairs and general supplies, but he prefers to call himself a junk dealer. As he says, he's overjoyed to assist those who have a deep need for his junk. He's just like that. Says it catches people's attention. With an investment of about 200 caps, I'm sure he could improve the quality of his materials, or at least offer more of them. Excellent. I'll see to it right away. At this point, it would require another pack Brahmin to carry his wares. But for 500 caps, I think he could offer more. Isn't it, though? I'll inform Wolfgang immediately. At the moment, Wolfgang's practically carrying an entire junkyard with him. Anything more, and he'll have trouble with the traveling part of being a traveling salesman. You can usually find one of the trade caravans at the entrance to town. They come through every day or two. Other than them, Porter's always got food for sale down at the diner. We used to have a better mechanic, but that didn't work out so well. I'll see what I can do. Good luck with those two troublemakers.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? Yeah, maybe. But you need one to keep some of those caravanners in line. And to keep them from getting too friendly, if you catch my drift. Even in a nice place like this, a girl's best friend is a good knife, right? What? Good guess. I was the toughest defender they ever saw in Lamplight. I earned my nickname fighting off a mole rat with a knife as big as my arm. When I left, I figured I'd pass on a cushy place like Big Town. I ended up here. Dom took me on as a guard, and that's that. I know Dom doesn't want me just killing them. He and the Mechanist used to be friends or something. All I know is, next time they come to town, I bet I could solve the whole problem with one bullet for each of them. Busy. Go. This whole place would fall apart if it weren't for Dom and me keeping anyone from causing too much trouble. Fat old Roe may think he runs the place, but it's only because Dom lets the idiot.
Hey.
Just stumbled into town? You sure picked a fine day for it, with the crazies out there. Here, have a drink on the house. Welcome to Canterbury. I'm Joe Porter. I make sure folks around here can get a meal when they need it. We do our best. Well, Dom and Roe do their best. I just make sure they've got enough food so they can keep on doing their best. You ever find yourself starving around here, drop by Dot's Diner. We don't charge much, but don't expect any more freebies. You mean apart from having cheesy names? Actually, I think I might know something useful. One of the traders told me she sounded like a girl he used to know. Girl's whole family was wiped out by ants, not long before she showed up here. But they never found any trace of her body. Said her name was Tanya Kristoff. That might just be our little antagonizer. Sure thing. You certainly came to the right person. What do you like? Another satisfied customer. They usually sell their stuff out front of the town. Never seem to stick around for long, though. I swear, those boys can't tolerate staying in one place for too long. Best place I ever worked in, and I guess I've worked about everywhere there is. We get some weird types passing through, but it's stable enough for a guy to make an honest living. I don't really see what more a man could ask for. Bye.
Oh man, did you see it? Did you see it? The antagonizer was all like, "Fear me!" But the Mechanist was all, "Stop, evildoer!" The antagonizer, she's this evil supervillain who's trying to wipe out humans with her ants. And the Mechanist protects us with his robots. And when they fight in town, it's incredible! There's all these lasers and biting and blood, and it's crazy! And then my uncle says I need to stay inside. He says it's dangerous. This is serious business, Derek. You think they're neat too, huh? It's not like they ever hurt anyone. Well, not like really badly hurt or anything. Dom and Machete make sure that everyone gets inside when they fight like that. Though sometimes I sneak out to watch. The traders and the slavers and the raiders, they don't like the antagonizer or the Mechanist. They say they're bad for business. But that's dumb. The ants and the robots rip them to shreds. That shows them. You mean the superheroes? Yeah. I'll try to watch all of their fights. That's easy. The antagonizer's suit makes her super agile. But I guess her ants are pretty weak on their own. Just watch out for her royal guard. The Mechanist robots are a lot tougher, and his suit makes him super smart. I don't think he has any weaknesses. Well, maybe one. Since he's a good guy, he's not as ruthless as the antagonizer. Like, he'd never hurt an innocent like me, if he could help it. I don't know much about her except she really, really doesn't like people. That's kinda cool. I mean, sometimes people are jerks. I think her lair is somewhere in the caves to the north of the city. I've seen her ants down there once in a while. Joe Porter said he found out something about her, but my uncle won't let him tell me. He says, don't encourage the poor boy. I knew the Mechanist back when he was just a normal hero. He used to be called Scott. Then he fixed up stuff around town. But one day, the antagonizer killed his favorite robot, and I told him he ought to fight back against her like a real superhero. Ever since then, he's been up on his forge, and the back of the robot shop on the hill, working to protect us all from the antagonizer. No way! Don't stop them, they're awesome! Unless, maybe you're going to be a superhero too. You could be called Super Humongous and fight them with an army of super mutants! Uncle Ro and I live in the Old Town Hall, and Mr. Porter runs the diner across the street. It's not really a big place, you know? It's okay, I guess. I heard it's safer than most places, because the raiders don't bother us. But I've never been anywhere else, so I don't know. Say hi to the Mechanist for me. Are you okay?
Newcomer to town, huh? Well, I'm Dominic Delasadro, and welcome to Canterbury Commons. Try to ignore the idiots in the costumes. Popular activities around town are trading, listening to Ro yap, and burying thieves in unmarked graves. Of course, we ran out of thieves to bury long ago. Saw to it myself. Might be a dead art, unless you're planning on stealing anything. When I can find time for it, sure. In the gardening business, it's the personal touches that make all the difference. Anyway, welcome to town. Don't cause trouble. Threats of violent justice, so on, so forth. You look like you know the drill. Ro hired you to put a stop to their shit, did he? Guess he finally listened when I told him I haven't got the time to do it myself. It's easy enough to hide inside when those two square off, but they're only getting worse about it all. I don't know who she is other than a crazy with an ant suit and a chip on her shoulder for humanity. She wasn't much trouble by herself, really. Her attacks were a joke, but at least stories of her kept some of the raiders at bay. If it helps, she was always attacking from the warrens up north. Maybe you can find her ant nest in there. He used to be a damn good friend, and not just because he fixed my guns up. Now he spends all his time up in that bot shop, just thinking about fighting that antagonizer. Hardly even recognizes his own name anymore. If you could just make either one of them stop fighting, it'd do the trick. You probably wouldn't have to worry about the other one. I can't imagine Scott attacking the town with his robots, and that ant-agonizer girl was never much more than a sideshow freak by herself. Ro may prefer that you're thorough, but all I care about is that you get the job done, one way or the other. Fine by me. What do you want? No problem. Go talk with Porter over. You can find them out front. If you're not in a hurry, you can wait a day or two. Canterbury's a good town. Ro's done a damned good job setting up the place, and no one can handle the day-to-day details like him. But when it comes to the big stuff, that's when he needs a little help. That's where I come in. Life and death matters. Putting down thieves. Protecting people from raiders who are short-sighted or stupid enough to attack, that sort of thing. Pretty much. Anything the man can't solve by talking at it. And don't misunderstand. He can solve a lot of things that way. I'm about the rarest thing out here in the wastes. A mercenary who lived long enough to retire. I used to sell my services around here, so it was a natural place to settle down. Not a bad sort of retirement, honestly. If you're done asking questions, I'm sure there's something I should be keeping an eye on. I'll be watching you.
Hey there. Yes?
So at last, you've penetrated the court of the antagonizer, queen of all ants. Were you sent by that meddling mechanist? He'll learn that no one can stand before my royal regimen of fighting ants. Explain yourself. Why shouldn't I have my pretties kill you where you stand? Ha ha! You would walk here and presume to command me? Humanity's time has come to an end. Your kind died because it knew only petty bickering and wars. But not so, the noble ant. It works with its brethren, knowing only loyalty and duty. And this is why they have grown, while humanity crumbled. Once I've finished with that pathetic mechanist, I will be free to spread my colonies across the wastes. You're wrong. Humans are cruel, hurtful beasts. They can't be saved. We can't be. I can't go back. But I can't keep doing this. I can't be as bad as they were. Not if someone like you believes in me. Please, I think I've made some terrible mistakes. If you really think I still have a chance, just let me go. I'll give you the suit. No one ever has to see the antagonizer again. Just please, let me have another chance. Thank you. I don't know how I can just thank you.
Well done! You have defeated the vile antagonizer, and you've brought back her suit so that we may destroy the last taint of her villainy. Hand it to me, and I'll make sure that no one else can ever bear the mantle of the foul antagonizer. Quickly then. Evil never pauses to contemplate its actions, so I see little reason that we should either. Is that true? Have I really become a threat to the town? Am I really the villain here? Does this mean I should stop myself? I guess I could just give up my suit and stop being the mechanist. But I couldn't face the town after causing that much trouble. Here. Please. I'm sorry. Just leave me alone. I've got a lot to think about.
along, please. Move along, please.
With all of that fighting, I never did get to give you the official welcome to the town, did I? Welcome to Canterbury Commons, home of traders, caravanners, and most of all, damn near all of them, depending on which caravan's in town. Guns, armor, food, junk. Pretty much everyone but slavers, that is. It's a hassle to transport their wares, as they say. Just as well, eh? Anything else I can do to welcome you to town? That's grand. I do believe it's fair to say you've saved Canterbury. And unlike that mechanist, you did so with significantly less stress all around. Now, I do believe this is our agreed-upon payment for your fine services rendered, and a little bonus as a special thank you. Yeah.
Yes? So long.
Good evening, sir. What can I do for you? Photons have mass? I didn't even know they were Catholic. Huh. You have yourself a fine day.